Hello there, you adorable person you, and welcome to another tooth-grindingly thrilling episode of TechSpurt Weekly, the weekly tech news show that hasn't actually been around for a couple of weeks because your mum lost the key to the handcuffs. Just kidding, kiddies. Of course, I was actually over in Florida seeing how much alcohol I could consume in Disneyland before they finally forcibly ejected me. And spoiler alert, it was a lot. That picture was actually taken during the Google I/O conference as well. Shows just how dedicated I am to this craft. I gotta say, I was surprised and also overjoyed at how readily available alcohol is in that place. Like, you go up to any food kiosk and there's not just beer and wine, there's also like the hard stuff. A couple of times I would order a coffee and they'd be like, would you like some rum with that? No wonder it's the happiest f***ing place on earth. In fact, I didn't get hoid out until about day 3 when I finally passed right out on the Splash Mountains. But anyway, finally back in Blighty nursing an absolute twat of a hangover, thanks Disneyland, with an extra helping of jet lag on the side, so I can already tell this is going to be an absolute banger of an episode. But actually this episode is somewhat of a big old beefy celebration because this week marks the 4th anniversary of TechSpurt, 4 long years of boozing, cursing and occasionally pretending I know things about phones and laptops and stuff. And because this is a special occasion, I thought bollocks to it, it's time to give the production values a proper kick up the arse. So I went down the market and paid Dodgy Dave 20 quid for some proper Hollywood style VFX. Gonna really jazz this shit up, and to help me show it all off, here's everyone's favourite crusty foot apparel. It is Mr. Wangsock.
Ah, it's about time you brought me back. It's me they all want to see, not you, you bald-headed bastard.
Hello Mr. Wangsock, I hope you're having a lovely day.
Shove it, cock breath.
Excellent. Now picture the scene. We're relaxing here at TechSpurt Towers after a grueling day of pulling phones out of boxes when all of a sudden, oh no, bullets start spraying in through the windows.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Is this one of your fucking fans, is it?
Oh no, Mr. Wangsock, they've hit the electrics. The whole place is going up.
God blimey, this is even worse than usual, and that's fucking saying something. Ah, oh!
Oh no, bugger, Mr. Wangsock, you've been hit.
Ah, thank for that.
Hey, now they've shot my pint. I mean, it was empty, but still, that could have had beer in it. You motherfuckers, you've gone too far. Blam blam, blam blam blam.
Oh my God, you've lost your last fucking marble, mate. Please, anyone send help.
TechSpurt Weekly. Right, so tech news, and this week there's been ruddy loads of launches, so you lot in the back, stop playing with yourself and pay attention, right? First up, Infinix spaffed out its latest wallet-friendly phones, the Note 12 and this here Note 12 VIP edition. Perfect if you happen to feel superior to your fellow human beings, but you're also not quite rich enough to afford a good phone. LOLs, just joking, kiddies. The Note 12 VIP is actually pretty decent if you don't mind the amusingly titled Fun Touch launcher, and you can see my full fondle session right now on TechSpurt. Mere hours later, Vivo launched its latest flagship smartphone, the X80 Pro, boasting some killer camera tech. Again, got a full video right here if you're not already sick of the sound of my not quite northern, not quite southern weird arse hybrid accent by now. Acer was next up to bat with a full frontal assault of snazzy new laptops, most of which sport that luscious 12th gen Intel action. There's the one that turns into a tablet, the one that's a Chromebook, the one that's also a Chromebook but actually a tablet, the one that's good for taking out your frustrations at the disappointment of everyday existence by murdering things with a chainsaw, the one where Chandler is still an annoying prick, and the one that's also good for murdering pretend stuff to make yourself feel better, but this time with glasses-free stereoscopic 3D support for 50 titles at launch. And I'm also rather tempted by the new Swift 3 OLED, which has a gorgeous 14-inch screen and up to 10 hours of battery life, although sadly no dedicated GPU, boo, hiss, etc. And that's not even all of the stuff that Acer launched. We've got more laptops, we've got gaming monitors. Frankly, listing it all would take several hours and several pints of the strongest booze known to humankind. And we're not even done with all the launches from this week, so let's just crack on before we top ourselves. The last big event of the week was a OnePlus extravaganza where they unveiled 2 new Node phones and some Node earbuds. The Node 2T is a minor upgrade over the excellent Node 2, which I swear only launched a few months back, but apparently it's almost 1 year old already. Apparently life is just flashing by in a haze of alcohol and endless mid-range smartphones. You've got a bit more grunt here and faster battery charging, but the rest of the handset is mostly the same. It'll cost you 369 quid here in Blighty, and my full unboxing is live right now, you lucky motherfuckers you. And OnePlus also revealed the Nord CE2 Lite, which costs almost 100 quid less, and as a result is comparatively shitter. I haven't managed to shoot a full unboxing of that one yet because f*** you, I've already done like 6 videos this week. I'm not some sort of taking things out of a box cyborg. But for anyone who really wants it and who can't be bothered to wait for the full actual thing, here's my 5-second unboxing. Ah, f***ing sticker. Oh, yeah. Plastic. Good hand feel. Yeah, it's probably better than 90% of my actual unboxings, to be fair. And I've got the buds around here somewhere as well, so I'll be testing those out for a full review at some point. And now it's time for the part of the show that makes me wish I was still quaffing boozy slushies in 35-degree heat while having my picture taken with a complete stranger sweating their bollocks off inside of a giant creepy mouse costume. It's viewer comments. Viewer comments. Oh no, hang on, no, sorry, I completely forgot the Huawei launch. Huawei launched like 3 new smartwatches and a new fitness tracker. The Huawei Band 7 this week as well, and oh god, I just can't. Just roll the jingle already. Viewer comments. So last time around, all those weeks ago, we were chatting about Motorola's fresh new Moto Edge 30 flagship smartphone, which is coming to the UK imminently. So let's see what you lovely lot think about that. Ron VDVR says, is that a Motorola 30 in your pocket? Oh, come on now, that Moto 30 is seriously thin. I'll have you know I'm packing substantially more in my pants right now, thank you very much. Specifically, this wee beastie here, Samsung's Galaxy S22 Ultra, which I actually took out to Disneyland, used it full time as my smartphone out there. Gotta tell you, even Mickey Mouse would struggle to use this thing with his massive oversized mitts. Anyway, hopefully have a full in-depth S22 Ultra review for you next week, if I can be bothered. Next up, Dave8204 says, glad to see a new Motorola. Must be 2 weeks since their last launch. I was beginning to worry that their factory had burned down or something. Well, don't worry, Dave, because there has actually been another Motorola launch as well in the fortnight that I was off. Specifically, the Moto G82, getting pretty wild with those numbers now. It's got pretty respectable specs, although it's not hugely different to quite a few other recent Motorolas. Highlight is definitely the 6.6-inch 120Hz P OLED display. You got the Snapdragon 695, so at least you got that 5G support as well, and you should be able to run everything absolutely fine, even most games. Got a 5000 mAh battery with 30-watt charging, 50 megapixel camera, and Android 12, hip hip f***ing huzzah. And it'll cost you 290 quid here in Blighty, not a bad price at all really. Am I going to do a video on the Moto G82? Of course I am. Do you even have to ask that question? I love reviewing Motorola smartphones more than I love Breathe and Air. If Motorola ever folded, I'd basically just have to top myself because life would become meaningless. Oh, and if you happen to be playing the TechSpert Weekly drinking game at home, hopefully that should be enough Motorola's by now to have you absolutely twatted. Next up, Stu says, can't decide between the Exynos Galaxy S22 or the Oppo Find X5 Pro. I mean, it's Oppo all the way for me. Definitely got better battery life, you got better performance as well. And it's a wee bit sexier too. Although also considerably more expensive than the Galaxy S22. It's like well over £1,000, so it depends how much you got stacked in your wallet. Jesse says, I was just listening to Happy to Be Hardcore albums yesterday. And on a similar note, Bry says, I've still got my Helter Skelter tapes. Yeah, I mean, there are a few things on this planet that could cheer me up more than sticking on a Happy Hardcore mixtape and bouncing about the place like Tigger after snorting a whole pint of crack. Helter Skelter was definitely one of my favourites back in the day as well as Bonkers, of course. But like yourself, most of my mixes are unfortunately on tape, in a box, in the attic, never to be played again, because I don't even have a CD player anymore, let alone a bloody tape deck. So most of the mixes that I listen to are just scraped off the internet. If anyone's got a good source, by the way, for Happy Hardcore mixes on the web, then definitely let me know, because I'm struggling to find some good ones. Next up, Paul says, no doubt you'll be overjoyed to hear that your favourite host is leaving the Late Late Show next year to spend more time in the UK. Yeah, I mean, haven't we all been through enough already? Got COVID, got the horrendous price hikes and everything, and now James Corden breathing the same air as us again. Just like, come on God, when will it end? Also on Mr. Corden, Ashley says, this either passed me by or I've pushed it to the darkest corner of my mind, but Google James Corden mouse outfit. I say there's a video, but I'm not brave enough to watch it. Jesus Christ, what terrifying rabbit hole have you led me down this time? Okay, I'm diving in. Let's go for it. Oh yeah, no, I remember this. This is when he was like promoting that god-awful Cinderella film, and he dressed up like a mouse and was like basically thrusting at various cars in LA. Frankly, I'm surprised he didn't get shot in the face. But yeah, if you thought Mickey Mouse was nightmare fuel, then Jesus Christ, it's got nothing on this guy. Next up, Juvenile RP says, Poco is slang for women of the night in Kenya. Well, that's a pretty good fact. Thanks for that, Juvenile. You know, I feel like I've learned quite a lot from my international viewers since I set up this channel. That's something I'm eternally grateful for. So yeah, keep them flooding in, and also shout out to my Poco crew and also any Kenyan prozzies who happen to be watching. Next up, Richard says, can you please make a video about the everyday tech that you actually use? Well, in terms of phones, it's basically just whatever I'm reviewing at the time. I don't have a daily driver or whatever it is that the other tech YouTubers have, because it's just so many phones and I actually do try and review them all, so I'm constantly swapping in and out of them. As far as laptops go, I unfortunately have to use a MacBook for my video editing because I grew up on Final Cut Pro, something that I basically regret every single day of my existence. Like basically every single day I'm treated to the message, Final Cut Pro has unexpectedly quit. Is it unexpected if it happens constantly though? And when I'm not editing video, I use the Huawei MateBook because it's thin and light and has really good battery life, unlike this absolute brick. Like if I had to lug this around with me all day, every day, my vertebrae would just explode like overripe melons being stamped on by a randy elephant. I've also been spending a bit of time recently with the Steam Deck, which I absolutely adore. It's basically like a giant futuristic Game Gear, except you can play more than just Sonic the Hedgehog and Smash TV on it. If nothing else, I can at least finally burn through all those games that I bought for 39p in various Steam sales through the past sort of decade or so, just while I'm on the train or on the bog. Next up, Quillimundo says, Motorola makes great quality phones, but it sucks that every model looks exactly alike. More Motorola action for all of you. Again, playing that drinking game, you should probably call an ambulance right about now. But yeah, no, 100% agreed. Like, they are very, very similar indeed. Kind of missing a trick there. They should definitely take a leaf out of like Realme's book, for instance, because at least they try something a bit different with every phone. Like recently they did obviously their new 9 series, which had the funky color changing effect. It was a complete gimmick, of course, but it's pretty bloody cool. Obligatory anime comment here as well. Akuri says, my next life as a villainess is great, you will love it. Yeah, I did actually watch the first episode of it, and yeah, it's completely mental, like all of the best anime. Definitely a good watch. I was kind of half cut when I watched it, so not entirely sure I followed the plot. Something about a girl who's like dies while playing a video game and then she's reincarnated as a character inside of the video game, something like that. But yeah, it's a good watch after several pints, certainly recommend. And bugger, I'm massively out of time, so better make this the last comment for the week. Scipio says, did you have your COVID yet? Heard it's mandatory in the UK. Yes, oh god yes, I've had the lung lurgy, like as you say, pretty much everyone in Britain. Now, the first time I had it, I actually thought it was just a really, really bad hangover. Literally, all I could do all day long was lie on the sofa and watch every single Mortal Kombat film that was ever made. It's a shame I don't do a movie channel or something, actually, because that would have been a good use of my time. Could have reviewed every Mortal Kombat film, compared them all to each other. I actually prefer the original 90s Cheese Fest to the new one, to be honest, even though there's bugger all awesome gore in it. There's definitely something strangely comforting about a cheesy, cheap 90s video game cash grab flick when you feel like there's an angry scorpion throwing an absolute shit fit inside of your skull. But anyway, thank you so much to everyone who commented on, not last week's show, the whatever week it was where I actually did one. And please do smash your comments down below and we'll try it and get our way through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week,
this is about next week.
What have we got going on? Let's check the calendar. Looks like the cats are due their Workman tablets. Awesome. Already looking forward to that. I'm going to actually finally review this bad boy as well, if I can stop myself from playing crap semi-pornographic anime games on the Steam Deck. Reviews of lots of wallet-friendly OnePlus kit, of course, and I'm actually working on a roundup of the best compact smartphones that you can buy right now in 2022 as well, which has proven about as easy as teaching a tortoise to tap dance. Phones are just too big right now. And yeah, I'm looking at you, S22 Ultra, you overgrown piece of arse. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching this drivel to the very end. You guys are awesome. Please do poke, subscribe, and ding that notifications bell if you haven't already. We'll be back again this time next week. Way! And have yourselves a absolutely wonderful weekend. Cheers, everyone. Love you.